When I was growing up, I was all about American cars and muscle and all that type of thing. And I think, I started noticing the MGs probably when I was 12 or 13 years old. My sister ended up buying a GT, an MGB GT. I remember getting that car and driving it and it being like, this is really cool. Is it like your modern car, get in, push the button and all that? No, there's, you pull the choke, you turn the key, you let it warm up a little bit because they, generally need a little bit of warm up before they run really well. But that's the beauty of those cars. It's just different. People looking at like, well, what do you want that for? I'm like, well, because, most people look at it and go, hey, whoa, that's a cool car. And it is.
My interest with British cars really started from my dad and my grandpa. I always had these weird places that I hung out and just sort of played around in, and British cars happened to be one of them, and it just kind of was one of those things that stuck with me. I like good design, and I think that with my generation, I think there's a lot of people who care about where the things that they buy come from. And I think with MGs you can feel that passion.
They were made for the kind of person that would, tune the carburetors and change their spark plugs themselves and do those kinds of things, and that's the kind of person they were built for. And I think that's a very appealing part of the MG story. I've had many an MG over the years. You can look at them, they all look pretty much the same, right? But there are subtle differences in them. And so I kind of like fall in love with them. And then I buy it and usually hang on to it for a while. It's fun to be driving a car that was the car that beat Ferrari at Monaco in 1964. Well, not really. But, these cars are just plain fun. They're not fast. The slowest economy car will beat this car in a drag race. Absolutely. But they feel fast. They're light on the steering. They're light on the brakes. They shift very crisply. You can get them to slide a little bit. You're hardly ever outside the envelope, if you will, on these cars in terms of you're never going to get in over your head. But that also makes them a lot of fun. They're a sports car in an era when people valued sports cars, for the fun of them. And they still maintain that fun level. Every time you get in these cars, there's a story to it. The story is the drive.